Good morning. It's Saturday again, and it's raining today, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to smoke a whole chicken later on. But this morning I need some bread. I'm out of bread, so I'm going to make a loaf of homemade sandwich bread to get me through the week. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. Got my apron on so don't get all floury. You know how it goes. All right, but right now we're going to measure out our ingredients so we have that done. All right, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of sugar, just regular old white sugar. And then our yeast, we will do, I'm using bread machine yeast, rapid rise. Do 2 1/4 teaspoons of that. And then kosher salt. Do 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Always good with this one. There we go. Not too bad that time. There we are. And now we're going to set these over here out of the way. We're going to come to our flour. We want 3 cups of bread flour. I use King Arthur's white bread flour. And I always use a fork to measure it. You don't want to pack it down. You want it nice and light till we get 3 cups of it. Measure that out. And there we go for that. Put that back in here. And our wet ingredients, we're just going to use regular classic olive oil. And we want 1/4 cup of that. And that is it for the ingredients. You can vary this up. I've done honey wheat before with 2 cups of white flour and 1 cup of honey wheat flour, or of wheat flour, not honey wheat, and replacing my sugar with honey, with raw honey. And it comes out pretty good. This time I'm doing white. I want white sandwich bread. So there we go. Now, here's where you get cheating a little bit. Got an old bread machine here, and 1 cup of water, warm water. It's about 115 to 125 degrees. And I'll put that in my bread machine. And then we're going to add the sugar to it. And then we're going to add the yeast on top. And we're going to close this up, and we're just going to put a timer on for 12 minutes. And let that yeast work in that warm water a little bit. And what we want when we open this up is we want to see it foam on top. We want to see the yeast foaming. When that's done, then we can add our other ingredients to it. Bread machines like this, you can pick up a used one at a flea market or a thrift store or even Facebook Marketplace. Look for a used bread machine. People buy them, use them until the novelty wears off and they sit in their closet, so you can get them at a good price. I think I got this one for 10 bucks about 5 years ago at a yard sale. But as long as it has a setting on it for, there it is, for kneading the dough. That's what I use it for. I have it knead the dough. And then I take it out and put it in my loaf pan and bake it the rest of the way in the oven. And it turns out beautiful. So as long as the bread machine you're looking for, you want to make sure that it has a kneading dough setting, to make the dough. And with that, you're good. See you in about 10 minutes or 11 minutes. While our yeast is doing its thing, I'm going to take my my stone loaf pan and I'm going to grease it lightly with good old Crisco. Get it ready for later for our dough. My oven has a warmer, I don't know what you call that, the cooktop warm zone, and you have 3 settings on that, and I usually turn that on when I go to my second rise in my loaf pan, and I leave it right on top of the stove with that on the warm zone with it turned on. I'll start it out with a 3 and then drop it down to a 1. Gotta get good and warm before I put my dough into the loaf pan. Everybody thinks bread is hard to make. It's you gotta be kind of exact, but once you get it down, it's easy. It just takes a lot of practice. And once you get it there, like I said, I do this all the time. About every week, just for me, I make myself a loaf of bread. All right, turn off our timer, and let's take a look in here. Oh yeah, that's how we want it. Let me just grab this and I'll bring her over and show you what it should look like. That's what you want your yeast to look like. It's all foamy on top. Looks good. Now we can add the rest of our ingredients. Okay. Gonna put our oil in first. And our salt. Spread it around good. And then our 3 cups of flour goes in. Close it up. Push it back. Make sure you're not close to the counter because this thing will jump around, and I've had it fall off the counter before, so you gotta be careful. And we're gonna put it on the dough setting, and we're gonna start it. It'll go for an hour and a half between kneading the bread, letting it rise, warming, and then when that hour and a half's done, then we're gonna take it out, knead it by hand 3 or 4 times, and then put it in our loaf pan and bake it in the oven for 15 minutes. Okay, our hour and a half is done. We are going to, look at that, the rose pretty good. Take that out, set it there. Remove this. Wipe down my counter. Good. I love stainless steel countertops. You can do so much with them. I'm just going to take some regular bread flour, sprinkle it on my countertop. Floured surface. If you don't have a stainless steel countertop, you can do it on your table with whatever you use when you're making pie crust and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, now we're gonna take our dough out. Get our paddle out of the dough. And we're just gonna flatten it out. And we're gonna just fold it like an envelope. hear it pop a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but getting a little bit of air bubbles out. Good sound. You want to hear that. Fold it again. Kind of shape it into a loaf while you're pushing on it. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to drop that into my loaf pan. I've got my oven on the warm zone on level 2. Now I'm just going to cover it with a light towel. Like that. And we're going to let that set for about an hour and a half. All right, let's put her in. Right in the center. Set our timer for 17 minutes. Oops, still have one going. Still had some time left on our hour and a half, but close enough for government work. Turn off our warm zone and be back to see the bread when it's finished. Okay, our 17 minutes is up. Turn off the timer, turn off the oven, bring it out. Set her there. Let it cool for about 20 minutes, and then I'll take it out of the pan and put it on a rack to let it set. And there we go. One beautiful homemade loaf of bread. All right, it's been 20-some minutes, so I'm gonna take the bread out, put it on this rack. Looks like got a little hole on that side. Still steaming inside, look at that. And there we have a loaf of bread. That's how easy it is to do. Our bread's ready for cutting. I'm gonna use my fancy bamboo bread cutter. You can adjust this thing for the slices, for how thick or how thin you want your slices to be. Works pretty good. There we have sandwich bread. Yum. Smells wonderful. Time for some bread slices. If you thought this was helpful, make sure you click the subscribe button down below, give it a thumbs up, and hit the little bell so you get notified of new videos. Have a good one.